Hey, what's up, everybody? It's CrossCurrent. Today, I'm giving you a guide to Tribes of Midgard. So, Tribes of Midgard has been out for a couple weeks now, and I gotta say, it's a very fun game where you just go through and try to survive in the Norse world, get resources, defeat bosses, and eventually defeat Fenrir, aka Ragnarok, and win the game. There are other modes to this as well, and a lot of things that need to be brought up that aren't brought up in the tutorial. So I'm going to go through the main menu screen, and then I'm going to head over to the actual game on Saga mode and show you what to expect. Now, to start off, I am going to timestamp every separate part of this video just to make it easier for all of you. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. If you like the video, please like the video. If you have a comment or concern, question, anything, be sure to comment below and share it with your friends if you think they could use this video. Now, to start off, the main page will have you on Saga mode. There's like a quick description here, but basically all the achievements you can get in the game are achievable through Saga mode unless it says so otherwise. I would suggest starting off by doing matchmaking. It'll force it with 10 players, typically random people. You just play, and later on you will want to do matchmaking because the random players will sometimes screw you over. They'll pick up all the items that you could obtain and they'll sell it so they can get their own achievements done, etc. Trolls will be trolls. We do solo play though. I tried that the first 2 times I started out in this game and I got destroyed because I had no setup at all. Now, when it comes to the other modes, there's survival and tutorial. Obviously, do the tutorial. I would suggest that even after watching this video, just breeze through the tutorial. I believe it also gives you a reward. Survival. This is not something I suggest early on in the game because it's very grindy and it'll make it so that you kind of hate the game. There's not really as much necessity to go through the quests. When you find everything you can, you're just kind of sitting there. There's something special about Saga mode because you have that rush of having to get it finished before roughly day 15. After day 15, it gets really tough, but it's fun just kind of starting over. The map always seems to change. The loot they find off the ground, they find in the game also changes, so there's a reason to do that. Also, when you finish Saga mode or something else, you can unlock stuff from the store, you can unlock stuff from the battle pass, from all over the place to help you set up for the next time you play the game. Now, when it comes to rewards, this is a battle pass area. When you finish games, you get experience for the battle pass. You also get some horns. You also could possibly get some of those coins up there. Most of the coins, though, will come from the battle pass itself. The quickest way to level this up, I have found, is doing Saga mode. You can get a lot more stuff from survival as well by making a new game and trying to max out everything to make it difficult. But the problem is you won't last really long when everything is up to the maximum, especially if you're playing by yourself. Now, there is an achievement in survival where you have to survive till day 100. That's going to take a really long time. I would suggest if you're going to do that, set it down to the easiest. Maybe make the map size bigger because you're going to be bored otherwise. Don't worry about the season XP because you're just trying to get that achievement. Because there are some achievements where you have to get all achievements done to get something else. Alright, so back to rewards though. You can get cosmetics, you can get runes, which will then be put into the game. You do not start off with the runes, but when you destroy things, when a rune gets dropped, now there's a chance that this rune will also be within the game. You can also get starter kits. Now, starter kits are used through the customizable section. You go to the character and they have starter kits right here. Basically, that means you will start off the game with these materials. Whether it be the villager starter kit, you have sword and armor. You're ready to go straight into battle. Or you have the harvester kit, so you don't have to immediately look for flint and look for branches to make your harvesting tools, which are really crucial in the game. They have other weird ones too that I don't mess with as much. I've always used the village starter kit because I just like to go straight into the battle. But there are better ones when you progress throughout the battle pass. Now you also get golden horns. Golden horns are used within the shop to buy things, as well as the coins up here. The coins I've noticed have only been for cosmetics. There might be 1 or 2 other things you can buy within the game, but I've not noticed it aside from just trying to make your character look cool. The golden horns, on the other hand, they can be used for cosmetic type things like this dog. It can also be used for unlocking things that you can get in the game, like the Raider Axe or the Rune, but it can also give you cosmetics as well. Golden Horns can be earned at the end of every single game. As you know, you progress, you get better rewards, and things start to rack up and become a lot better, like every Battle Pass. It does show you the experience up here. That shows you how soon you'll get to your next level. So progress, this is an important screen to check because it's typically how you unlock new classes, how you get rewards, which give you really good runes, and other stuff. So challenges, I would suggest looking through here right when you start the game. The class challenges, you have to do certain things within the game to unlock those classes. Otherwise, you just have a warrior, and you just have the ranger, which is pretty boring to only have those two. Believe me, I've been kind of screwed over when I've tried to get the other classes because they're not easy, aside from Guardian. Alright, so when it comes to achievement challenges, you mainly want to get all these finished at some point so you can get that pet, which will give you another quest, which is to have a pet. Most of it will just happen on its own, but some things can be worked on a little bit better. If you're in a long survival game, I would suggest doing the 100 constructions because that's something you can do to pass the time in a very slow game. Obviously, 100-day survival, I told you how to do that. I would suggest having friends with you and not having it public. If you have it public, random people can join the game and ruin it for you, or just be bad and ruin it for you. And then you're on day 57 wondering why the heck you had it on public. Completing saga quests and stuff like that, I would suggest you go to the main page, you just go one over to join their Discord. Finding a group there is the best thing to do, but a lot of people won't play with you unless you have at least level 5 because you played at least a little bit in the game and have somewhat knowledge of what the heck is going on. A lot of people don't seem to want to help you with that, but at the same time, they will help you get your achievements done. They will help you progress in that. Like if you have to kill the Frost Jotun, they'll be like, hey, we're about to kill this guy. We all have it. You need it. They need to speak up, and you get it. Like delivering the final blow to the Dark Jotun, Thunder, Fire, Ice. There's 4 of those, and then there's the Saga boss. That will be Fenrir. He has a ridiculous amount of health, so hopefully someone is giving you some item that will do a lot of damage, so you can finish off Fenrir. Playing with Pet Equip will give you 5 Golden Horns. There's nothing insane, but you might as well do that, unless you spend money in the shop to buy other stuff. So spending the souls in Midgard, this is typically where people are jerks in matchmaking mode. It's not in the Discord that I've noticed it, but in regular matchmaking, people will go to the loot chest where everyone drops stuff so then everyone can use what they need, and they'll go to a merchant and sell all of it. So they can just get a lot of souls spent in Midgard. Also, they can have the achievement of having 10,000 souls at once. So, just to look out for that would be a good idea. The Saga challenges, this is just how many times your team defeats Fenrir. I've only done it a couple times. It gets a little repetitive for me, but it's very achievable, nothing too crazy, depending upon how speedrunning your group is and how much they know the game. So when it comes to character customization, I made a short video on this. If you're trying to change your character from male to female, just hit shift. It says body type below, but it is pretty poorly described. Yeah, so you can choose your starter kits from here. Other customization is up to you. Keep it known though, if you have these cosmetics, you won't be able to see your character if you have those cosmetics on. But you can make it all goofy like this where you have skins that really don't match with each other. So over here you can choose which weapon you want to equip, the cosmetic weapon per se. And cosmetic projections just means all other cosmetics that you can use. Alright, so back to the shop. You can also get more platinum coins from here. I don't know if I do that yet. I don't like to do that for games when they've just come out because you don't know how well the game will progress over time. But the game does seem pretty good. The devs do seem pretty active, and the Discord is also active as well, so it wouldn't be a terrible option if you really need something. I don't know what the coins would really give you aside from cosmetics, so that choice is yours. We come to the settings. The visual settings will be preset for you. I didn't have to do anything with that. But just in case you want to turn it up, you just click on it. When it's grayed out, that's the one to suggest. The one that it chooses for you, not the one that it shows ungrade. Yeah, I haven't messed with any of the settings. If you want to turn up the music or the SFX, it's there on the sound. You can do voice chat. Voice chat is suggested as not push to talk, but you can do whichever. If you have a really bad mic, have us push to talk, or people are really going to hate you and probably leave the world. Alright, guys, so that being said, let's hop into a solo game real quick just to give you a brief rundown. The tutorial will go over this pretty well, but it's different to see everything that can really happen in this game. Alright, so I started off, and since I do not have the Harvester Kit, I'm going to immediately look for flint and branches. Because if you don't have any of these, you cannot harvest other materials that you could really use. At the start of the game, you're going to upgrade the Tinker to level 3 as soon as possible. So then you can have the silver equipment, but at least get it to level 2 as soon as possible, because you're going to want to find silver as fast as you can. Silver is used for a lot of things, level 3 and above, so finding that is crucial. You're going to want to find the lands of pool on the map. So look at the map right now, and you see that that's all green, but there's a little bit of brown right there. I might have lucked out, and that might be the land of pools right there. Now, it's going to be tough because all the opponents that are at the land of pools, the goblins are pretty easy unless they're in a swarm, because some of them will have stuns, some of them will deal more damage, and there's a possibility of trolls and dragons. So you gotta be careful with that, but at the same time, getting silver early is huge. Hugely important. But since the start of the game, I'd also consider chopping down some trees, gathering resources along the way as fast as you can, just to get more souls so you can upgrade everything that you need when you go back to the town. Land of pools already popping. Okay, when you see that area over there with the where it shows a fire on the map, that's where one of the camps are. You can tell by how big or small the camp is based off how the map will tell you by pressing M. Unfortunately, I have the enemies that are stunning me right in front of me. Those are the guys I have to worry about. Fortunately, there's not anything else around them, or that would have been a problem. You're also going to look for mushrooms. The mushrooms will help get you better potions. Potions are great because they'll show up in the bottom of your bar, and if you press Q, they can really save you in a tight spot, and there's almost no reason to not have those. Now, let's say you're trying to get to this little spot up here. You can press C to go to construction, and if you have any construction, you can build ramps. Now, to build the ramps, you're going to have to put a first ramp down and climb onto the ramp to build a second ramp to go up here. You cannot build a second ramp onto the first ramp without being on the first ramp you made. Otherwise, it'll just go onto the ground level again. One of the best ways to do combat in this game is to keep in mind that your mana bar on the left side increases over time from each swing that you do, and trying to put that into the mix. If you just do basic attacks all the time by left clicking, it'll be very hard to win fights unless you have an extremely powerful weapon. And as you see right now, we've also got those weird bombs. That can help out with a lot of damage if the dragon didn't just send it flying. And at this point, I should probably run away from the dragon because I don't want to be completely killed. So I've got a bunch of resources, and I have 234 souls. I'm noticing I'm pretty close to base. If I wasn't, I would probably press T, which shows that runestone down there. What that'll do is it'll teleport you back to base once, and then it'll give you a long time to wait until you can use it again. Only use it in a dire scenario, and when you're teleporting back, it does not matter if you're getting damaged. Once the Bifrost image, like from Thor, pops on you, you won't be taking damage and you'll be going back to the base. To upgrade, just press G, and you drop everything you can inside there. Boom. Level up, you get some experience. All the other players in the game get some experience as well. So, as you see at the bottom, there's that shining diamond. I'll press escape, go to blessings. I get to choose which character I want to be. I've mainly been warrior. I'll go with that. Seems pretty straightforward. Now, unfortunately, that used the blessing point to become the warrior, so I cannot upgrade anything else. Now, when you're upgrading things, you probably want to choose which side you're trying to completely fill out, because once you've used every single blessing, it would be all of those. So you'd have about roughly 5 missing when you're trying to upgrade everything for a character, since you get maxed out at level 10. Now, if you ever need a heal, you can come over to this person. She will heal you. It's once every 2 minutes. Come over here to the quest board. This is where you can get some other challenges done and get event quest fragments, souls, and other equipment as well. I won't be doing that right off the bat because it's not as important, but it is something that I could use later on in the game. Shrines. Now, as you see right now, there's all this does is show the map. Throughout the game, you'll notice shrines that look just like this. You hold F and it'll activate. This is a teleport spot. You can teleport from one shrine to all the other shrines on the map. It's great in a pinch, but if you're trying to gain control of a shrine and you get attacked, it will cancel you trying to gain control of it. Alright, so over here with this guy, we're gonna get 3 small potions. And it looks like night's gonna be here considerably soon, so we gotta be prepared to defend from the hell things. Hell things are demons and dark spirits of the sort that come out at night and attack your village. They're mainly there to destroy Yggdrasil. Sorry if I just butchered that. The main tree in your village. Now you can drop souls in the tree, but I would suggest using the souls to start either for upgrading those grayed out areas around you, not the Bifrost, of course, but those other grayed areas, because those will constantly give you resources, or to upgrade the other people in your town. Because while I level these characters up, they get stronger so they can defend while enemies are running up. You can also upgrade the walls right here, so then you can have a gate to put down. If the gate gets destroyed, though, you have to set it back. You start upgrading it again at level 1. So it's going to be very tough. You also have archer towers. These are typically overlooked, but they're very helpful for killing enemies. Typically, that's what you get after you've built the wall for your base. But yeah, as I said earlier, the trapper, he is here for potions. You've got the armor, who gives you armor. You come over here, you have the war chest. You can put everything in here if you're playing with friends. If you're playing with randoms, I'd advise against it unless you're really trusting, and that's not a good idea. Alright, so to repair stuff, you have to come over to the bench and click on it, hit repair. Unfortunately, though, I already deposited my souls, so I cannot repair that. And if you hover over it, it shows in the bottom right over there that I have 0 out of 10 souls, so I need 10 souls to repair that. Same with these, which are 5. Alright, so now you see on the map these purple dots that are moving in, those are hell things. I gotta kill them to make sure that my base is protected. Early game, you don't have to worry about defending it too much because the AIs that you have there should be able to win, but not always is that a good idea because you will take damage to your tree that could have been prevented. These enemies will also drop souls as well as sometimes other materials that could be used in creating things. Now, you can also revive the people that die, and it revives them to full health. Now, with most things in this game, you have to have the basic part of a weapon, like the flint lumber-axe and the flint pickaxe, to then get the stone lumber-axe and the stone pickaxe. That's not always the case with weapons. With weapons, it's tough because there's many different variations to a certain weapon. So you need to make sure that, like, let's say you're trying to get that hammer, but you've been starting out with the feral hammers. You have to then go back to Muspelheim Mall 1 and start making that instead of skipping from one to the next. But also when you start the game, even with the villager setup, you can have a second weapon. I grab the hammer for extra beefy damage. The bow is not a bad idea either, but you do have constantly arrows that are needed for it. Now, also when you level up your gathering equipment, it will allow them to last longer, but also to give you more resources from everything that you mine, chop down, etc. So if you're really trying to get a lot of silver, it might be smarter just to level up to stone gathering equipment, and then go straight there so you don't have to make another trip later. If you're playing by yourself, though, you should be fine either way. Alright, so as you see, I just destroyed a camp. Every camp will have at least one of these bomb things there that you can use just to help in a fight, and a treasure of some sort. Now, this is a small camp, so I just have an ordinary treasure level 1. I'll get a decent number of souls, though, which is huge. That'll help you to quickly get levels up within your town without having to waste any time. Now, as you saw right there, my ability that swung me in a circle also destroyed the rock. That can be used to destroy structures around you. I wouldn't suggest doing it, but it's an option if you need it. In case you really can't find materials, but you keep finding enemies instead of getting your harvesting tools. When you start off as a warrior in particular, you're going to want to upgrade either the sword or the axe. I always start with the sword, so I upgrade that just so I get better damage output. If you leap down from somewhere, you'll take damage. If you leap into the water, you die immediately. If you die, you go back to your base and you try to gather your loot again, but you will still keep your weapons. Anything you have on you will still be there, except that any materials or other equipment will have to be regathered from a chest, and unfortunately lose all of your souls. So that's the worst part about that. You really don't want to lose souls because that means you wasted time that could have been used to upgrade other characters and get you better gear. So now that I have the Tinkerer to level 3, I'll start at the blacksmith because then I can get some better weaponry. If you're looking to switch your equipments, I press I and then choose which weapon to put on which slot. It'll show you everything that you recently got as well. So right now I have 2 runes, and as you see on the map, there is when you look at the small map, you see a triangle with a skull on it. That shows the general direction where the Jotun is. Now you can move towards that direction at any point in time, but they are really far from your base right now. Obviously though, once it gets to the stage where there's like circles spinning around it, you are going to want to move towards the Jotun at the time and start dealing damage. If it just makes it to your base and hasn't been damaged, most likely it'll not even worry about you, go straight to your tree and destroy you so you lose the game. Now that I see a Jotun up there, I'm going to be heading straight that direction, trying to look for as many shrines as I can. And if I don't make it back in time, I'll hit T to help defend my base from the hell things. Now, just so you guys know, the Land of Pools isn't just in one given area. There's multiple areas where the Land of Pools can be. Fortunately, I have found both of them considerably early in the game, so I can get a lot of resources that I might need. Now, once I see my tree losing health, I'm going to keep looking just to kind of find what I need before I return to the base. I'm going to want to find a better weapon, because for the most part, the Jotun's attacks and abilities can be dodged with considerable ease. Meaning that I should mainly just be looking for a powerful weapon, and not worrying much about the armor. Good players don't even worry about armor because they're just good at dodging and timing and everything else. So you see this icon right here? You can go here to buy certain resources that you might need. Obviously, I don't need to buy silver right now because I have much more that I can get. But some of these will really help you out, especially if you have a larger group of players. You can grab resources that are honestly gone from that location, because it'll only sell you resources from a surrounding area. So this area, that's why he has silver in his inventory, is because there's silver rocks nearby. Also notice that 2 of my characters back at the base were knocked down. Fortunately, the night has ended, so I don't really have to worry about that anymore. I'm gonna keep looking for some silver ore to mine and see if I can get that fish. Now, when I come over to this wall over here, walls are great because even if you're playing with random players, it drops materials for everybody. Typically wood and stone and stuff you'd use for building. Like right now, we got some wood and stone, iron, cut stone, wooden boards. Boards and cut stone are typically made from the tinkerer. They are not usually found on their own. To block, you hold shift key. I haven't used block a whole lot because I don't feel it's as necessary as people think it to be. If you're trying to dodge arrows, sure. Now, there are also random happenings that happen within the game as well, such as the stag from the world tree. There are also the roosters, the prisoners, other things as well. But fortunately, with the stag, you just have to walk up to it, hold F, goes away. Looking on the map, you would think, oh, that's exactly where the stag is. No, it's somewhere within that entire yellow circle. And I feel like sometimes the games might glitch out to where it's not even visible there. Now, also, if you're going to make legendary equipment within the game, it requires golden horns. Now, if you're trying to use golden horns and earn them within the game, you're going to have to take the Bifrost before your village gets destroyed. So, to do that, you're going to have to destroy at least one Jotun, and then that'll pop up, and you can go there and you can leave the world. It's a great way to start off and get golden horns that you can use, especially if you're stuck playing by yourself. They let you do it. What these will give you, especially the red one, it'll give you health. Health over time. There'll be yellow one that'll give you speed, the blue one that'll give you mana for using your abilities. They all seem to help you out in some way. And it's pretty good if you don't have the potions to use. Alright, so you notice right now that there's a lot of purple in the sky. That's a good way to determine that you're near a Jotun. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run up here, I'm gonna activate the shrine in case they need a speedy getaway. And unfortunately, there's a jerk archer that is behind me. Also, when you upgrade the shrines, when you unlock the shrines, you also get experience from that. You see on the map that shows that gray area up there? That's where the Jotun was last seen. Does not mean that they're still there, as you see that they are actually in front of that. Also, this is arguably one of the toughest Jotuns. If you see her starting to stopping or walking, you probably want to head away, as well as you should with just about any Jotun. Because that means they're just starting to do some sort of attack. A lot of the reasons why people don't like this one is because she'll summon units to do her bidding, as well as sometimes summon a hand that can do a lot of damage, and just downright do AoE damage on her own. Well, as long as you're mobile, should be able to defeat her with considerable ease since she is the first Jotun, and every Jotun after her will be stronger, more health, maybe a little more attack. Haven't noticed because I've been upgrading my character, but play it safe. You don't want to get killed out here on your own in a one-person world. Now, a trick that some people have learned in this game is that you bring the Jotun down to where she has very little health, to where you can finish her inside the base, or to where the AIs or archer towers, where you have there, can finish off her. So then there are less Jotuns that will spawn. You have a much longer time until they'll spawn again. Now, although that's fun, I prefer getting more golden horns, So I like having more Jotunns, just so I can do that, especially since this is a single player game. Now, also when they die, they can drop some fragments that everyone can pick up. They can also drop some things that just, have enough inventory to hold. So if you finish that and you see an ally that could use it, go to the map, left click to put down a chest or I don't know, a skull, something. Do that to help everyone else know if you destroyed a wall, destroyed a Jotun, or destroyed something that they could pick up resources for. So you see right down there, that signifies that my main weapon is very close to being destroyed. And also, you saw that the Blood Moon was popping up in the chat. Blood Moon means that the next night there will be upgraded hell things as well as boss hell things. Those are not fun to deal with. Definitely defend your base for that night, because this can be a pain even just for you to deal with, because they will attack you instead of going straight to the tree to try to destroy the tree. Also, that does mean that the night after, there will not be hell things. You have more time to finish quests and progress throughout the game. I didn't touch base on this earlier, but these are some of the structures that you can rebuild to give you resources over time. People suggest that you get this done right off the bat, but sometimes it's not easy to get to that stage, especially if you don't find the walls to give you these pre-made resources. But that will give you resources over time, so you don't have to go out and look for stuff. It'll give it to you, and if you need more souls, you can sell the stuff. You can buy other things that you'd need. Also, if you're trying to sell stuff, it'll be the merchant icon, which is a hand with a gold bag on top of it. That's important. The bridge lair, those are some of the main questline things that you'll find throughout the map when you start expanding and finding more of it. But yeah, so since I've defeated the first Jotun, and let's say that I'm in a stage where I could really end up dying and I don't want to, I'm going to head over to the Bifrost and I'm going to leave the world. This allows me to save the golden horns I've obtained, which is just one, sure, but you do that, you also get some experience, you get some other stuff, which you get either way. Comment below if you know if dying will reduce the amount of experience you gain, or if it stays the same no matter what. So as you see right here, return to Valhalla, I press F. Reward from defeating one Jotun will be one golden horn. Claim and leave. So everyone, that is a beginner's guide to Tribes of Midgard. Hopefully this guide helped you out. If it did, please be sure to like the video. If you have a comment about, please be sure to comment below. If you think a friend could use it, share it with them. And as always, guys, drop that subscription if you really like my content and find it useful. And as always, I'll see you next time.